You want to succeed. You start with Him. Every morning, before your phone, before your emails, before the noise of the world, get on your knees. Sit quietly and speak to God. Lay your burdens down. Let Him set the tone for your day, because if you start your day grounded in Him, the rest of the day falls into place. There's a peace that comes when you begin with God, a clarity that nothing else can provide. Life doesn't wait for you to be ready. The world keeps moving, but your spiritual foundation sets you apart. You wake up with intention, not reaction. The things that used to overwhelm you no longer hold the same weight. Your mind starts processing challenges differently because you've anchored yourself in God first. When you take time to commune with Him, you tune out the distractions. The notifications, the noise, the chaos, they don't control you anymore. Your day isn't dictated by circumstances, it's dictated by purpose. You begin to see opportunities that others miss because you are in alignment with God's timing. Your energy shifts when God is first. It's not about having more hours in the day, it's about how you use the ones you have. You operate with focus. You operate with wisdom. You operate with intention, knowing every step you take is guided by a higher power. And here's something most people miss: when you start your day with God, your perspective changes. Problems shrink, priorities become clearer, and gratitude floods your heart. You're no longer just surviving the day, you're thriving in it. The consistency of starting your day with Him matters. Some mornings will feel easier than others, but that discipline of grounding yourself in God builds resilience. Even when chaos comes, you're not shaken because your foundation is firm. So today, make that choice. Before you reach for your phone, before you rush into meetings, before you let the world dictate your mood, start with God. Begin your day in His presence. Let Him guide your steps, sharpen your focus, and ignite your spirit. Stop making decisions with fear. Stop making decisions out of pride or comfort. When you make choices with God first, the path becomes clearer. Life will tempt you to take shortcuts, but God's guidance leads to long-term success. Decisions made without Him often look right at first, but they fail in the long run. Even your smallest decisions matter when God is first. Should you take that job? Should you invest in that opportunity? Should you have that conversation? When you consult Him, your choices reflect more than impulse. They reflect wisdom. The peace of God comes as confirmation that you're on the right path. You don't have to figure everything out on your own. God's plan is bigger than your plan, better than your plan, and longer than your plan. Sometimes you will feel uncertainty, but that's where faith takes over. Trust that He's orchestrating outcomes you can't even imagine. You'll avoid pitfalls you don't see. The things that could derail you, the decisions that could break you. When God is first, you're guided away from those traps. You begin to navigate life with precision because your focus is on His guidance, not just what feels comfortable or convenient. Some decisions require courage. Saying no when everyone says wise, walking away from relationships or situations that aren't aligned with God's purpose. When God is first, you develop discernment. You learn to listen to that quiet voice inside that says, "This is the way." And there's freedom in letting Him lead. You're not burdened by regret or what ifs. You move forward confidently, knowing that even if the path is difficult, it is directed by the one who has your best interests at heart. So, make a habit of bringing every choice before Him. Don't just pray for big things, pray for the little things too. Because when you align your decisions with God, every step you take moves you closer to the life He designed for you. Life will try to scare you. Life will test you. And the moment fear steps in, faith must respond. God first means faith over fear every single time. You cannot walk in fear and follow God simultaneously. One will always dominate, and faith has to win. Fear will whisper lies. You're not enough. You'll fail. You're too late. But God's voice cuts through that noise. He reminds you who you are, what you're capable of, and that His power works through you. You start to see obstacles not as walls, but as opportunities to grow. Faith doesn't ignore danger or difficulty. It recognizes reality, but chooses trust over panic. When fear wants to paralyze you, faith propels you forward. You start moving in spite of uncertainty, knowing God is walking beside you every step of the way. Faith over fear reshapes your actions. Instead of withdrawing, you step into challenges. Instead of complaining, you work. Instead of quitting, you persist. Fear may visit, but it cannot stay in a life that puts God first. And here's what many forget: faith also changes your perspective on failure. When fear dominates, failure feels like the end. But when faith dominates, failure is a lesson, a stepping stone, a redirection toward God's perfect plan. The more you practice faith, the stronger it grows. Every time you step out with courage, fear loses its grip. You start realizing that God has been carrying you through all the moments you thought you couldn't survive. So when fear comes knocking, and it will, answer with faith. Pray, trust, step forward. Keep your eyes on God, and you'll see fear shrink while your courage grows. You can't have God first if everything else is first. Look at your time, your money, your attention. What are you truly putting first? Many people say God is first, but their actions reveal something else. When God is first, every part of life aligns with Him. Your relationships change when you prioritize God. Your work, your family, your commitments, they all reflect His presence in your life. You stop chasing meaningless things and start focusing on what matters most. Every choice becomes intentional, guided by purpose, not convenience. Aligning priorities requires sacrifice. Some pleasures, some habits, some distractions must be set aside. God first means that you are willing to let go of what distracts you from your calling. And here's the reward: clarity, peace, and fulfillment that nothing else can provide. You start seeing life differently. What used to feel urgent may no longer matter. What used to feel important may be irrelevant. God first changes your lens. It's not about giving up happiness. It's about gaining direction and wisdom. Consistency is key. You can't align priorities one day and revert the next. Daily intentionality is what sustains the shift. Every decision, every hour, every thought should reflect that God comes first. And the impact doesn't stop with you. Your example inspires others to evaluate their priorities, families, teams, communities. When one person chooses God first, the ripple effect is undeniable. So take a hard look at your priorities today. Ask yourself, is God truly first or just convenient? Align your life, adjust your actions, and watch as God directs your path. Never underestimate the power of prayer. Prayer is not a last resort. It's your first response. God first means you talk to Him before you talk to the world, before you act, before you worry. Prayer opens doors that nothing else can. It strengthens you. When you pray, your perspective shifts. Problems that once seemed insurmountable now have solutions. Prayer realigns your heart, your mind, and your purpose with God's will. It's a direct line to the Creator of everything. Prayer doesn't just change circumstances. It changes you. You gain patience, wisdom, and courage. You start seeing life from God's vantage point, not your own limited perspective. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to lean into Him. Consistent prayer builds intimacy with God. You start recognizing His voice, His guidance, His nudges. When you pray daily, even briefly, your spiritual senses sharpen. You notice the answers, the confirmations, and the doors He opens. Prayer also provides peace in chaos. When life feels overwhelming, prayer is the anchor. It's a reminder that you are not alone, that God is in control, and that He is working even when you cannot see it. You will see miracles when you prioritize prayer. Not always in the form you expect, but in ways that strengthen your faith, protect you from harm, and bring opportunities aligned with God's purpose. So make prayer your habit. Before you speak, act, or react, pray. Let God's wisdom guide you, His peace sustain you, and His plan unfold through you. You want God first? Then you've got to trust the process. Life doesn't hand out success overnight. It delivers lessons, delays, and tests. Each challenge is designed to shape you, to prepare you for what's coming. Trusting the process is trusting God's timing. Sometimes it feels like you're going in circles, like nothing is moving. That's the moment where most people give up. But God first means you persevere. You know that every setback has a purpose, and every detour is preparation. Nothing is wasted when God is guiding you. You may not understand why things are happening, but trust that God does. Your vision is limited, His is infinite. What feels like a delay may be a redirect. What feels like failure may be a foundation for greater success. Trusting the process requires patience, humility, and obedience. It requires you to release control and let God lead. Stop trying to force outcomes. Stop comparing your journey to someone else's. Walk your path with faith, knowing God is orchestrating every step. The more you trust the process, the stronger your faith becomes. Every time a challenge is met, every time a lesson is learned, you grow. You become resilient, disciplined, and aligned with God's purpose. When you see the bigger picture, the waiting no longer feels like a burden. It becomes a preparation ground, a time to build character, a time to grow in wisdom. God's process is always better than your timeline. So keep moving forward even when the path seems unclear. Trust the process. Follow God's timing. Know that every step, every challenge, every pause is leading you exactly where you're supposed to be. Patience is more than waiting. It's trusting. God first means you wait without losing hope. You learn to hold your dreams lightly while still working diligently. The world pressures you to rush, but God's timing is perfect. Patience shows your faith. It's easy to pray for blessings, but patience is the proof that you trust God to deliver them at the right moment. You don't panic, you don't force, and you don't compromise. You stand firm knowing the right time is coming. Every waiting season is an opportunity to strengthen your character. It tests your commitment, sharpens your focus, and expands your endurance. Patience allows God to work without interference, molding you into who you are meant to become. Rushing ahead without patience often leads to mistakes, missed opportunities, and regrets. But when you wait with trust, God aligns everything perfectly. The doors that open are the right doors, and the people you meet are the right people. Patience also protects your peace. You're not consumed by anxiety over what hasn't happened yet. You're free to focus on the work God has given you now, confident that the future is in His hands. Patience is a daily choice. It's a mindset, a discipline, and a form of faith. Every moment you wait, you are building strength, wisdom, and resilience that will serve you long after the waiting season is over. So embrace patience. Don't rush, don't force, don't complain. Trust God's timing. Stand firm in faith, knowing He is orchestrating every detail for your good. Your relationships reflect your heart. When God is first, your interactions change. You start responding with love, understanding, and patience rather than frustration or anger. The way you treat people becomes a reflection of God's presence in your life. You'll begin to attract the right people and release the wrong ones. God first allows you to discern who truly belongs in your circle. Toxicity fades, and relationships that honor your purpose flourish. Conflict is inevitable, but God first gives you wisdom in handling it. Instead of reacting with pride or hurt, you respond with grace. You learn to forgive, to listen, and to understand. You stop holding grudges and start building bridges. Relationships also teach you humility. When God is first, you put others' needs alongside your own without sacrificing your principles. You learn patience, empathy, and the value of shared growth. The right partnerships, friendships, family mentorships will thrive when God is first. You notice that doors open with those who share your values and doors close with those who drain your energy. Divine alignment becomes clear. Prioritizing God first also strengthens romantic relationships. Love becomes about mutual respect, support, and faithfulness rather than selfish gain. Your connection grows deeper because both partners are grounded in the same spiritual foundation. So let God guide your relationships. Seek His wisdom in who you allow into your life and how you interact with them. When He is first, every connection becomes purposeful, meaningful, and life, giving you want to be great, start with God. When God is first, excellence follows naturally. Your work ethic, discipline, and attention to detail elevate because your motivation is aligned with a higher purpose, not just recognition or money. Excellence is not about perfection. It's about giving your best in every area. When God is first, you strive to honor Him through your efforts. Your integrity, commitment, and consistency become visible to everyone around you. People notice when someone operates with excellence. Opportunities come knocking, doors open, and respect is earned without having to demand it. Excellence attracts success, but faith shapes the heart that sustains it. Your mindset shifts. You no longer do things just to impress others. You do them because God deserves your best. Excellence becomes a byproduct of obedience, diligence, and intentionality in everything you do. Challenges become opportunities to showcase your best. Instead of giving up when things get hard, you push harder, knowing that persistence is a reflection of your faith. Excellence grows in adversity, not just comfort. Excellence also impacts those around you. Colleagues, family, and friends are inspired by your standard. They see what's possible when God is first and are motivated to elevate their own lives. So commit to excellence. Let your faith shape your work, your actions, and your character. When God is first, what you produce is not just good. It's extraordinary. Here's the truth: you are not in control. Life is unpredictable, and trying to manage every outcome will only bring frustration. God first means surrendering control and trusting Him to direct your steps. Letting go doesn't mean being passive. It means taking action with faith, not fear. You do your part, work hard, make wise choices, serve diligently, and leave the results to God. Control is an illusion. When you cling too tightly, stress and anxiety consume you. But when you let go, you experience freedom, peace, and confidence that you cannot manufacture on your own. Surrender allows God to work in ways you could never imagine. Miracles happen when you release your grip and trust Him completely. Opportunities arrive, doors open, and solutions appear that you never could have planned. You will face tests of patience. People, circumstances, and challenges will tempt you to take control back. But God first teaches you restraint and trust, even when the path is unclear. Releasing control is also a lesson in humility. You acknowledge that your strength and wisdom have limits, but God's power is limitless. He is able to move mountains that you cannot even lift. So let go. Surrender your plans, your worries, your fears, and your dreams into His hands. Walk forward with peace, knowing God is guiding every step. Money is tricky. It can enslave or free you. When God is first, your approach to finances changes. You begin to give generously, save wisely, and invest in things that honor Him. Faith guides financial decisions. You stop living in fear of lack and start trusting in God's provision. Every dollar is managed with intention and gratitude because God is the source of all abundance. Prioritizing God first also shifts your perspective on wealth. You see money as a tool, not a trophy. It's a means to bless others, support causes, and build legacy, not just personal comfort. Giving becomes a spiritual practice. When you contribute to God's work, you demonstrate trust that He will supply your needs. And as you sow faithfully, blessings multiply in ways you cannot predict. Financial setbacks become lessons rather than crises. God first teaches patience, discipline, and wisdom. You learn to navigate scarcity with faith instead of panic, knowing every season is temporary. Generosity opens doors. It builds networks, strengthens relationships, and multiplies opportunities. God honors a willing heart more than a perfect bank account. So place God first in your finances. Let Him direct your spending, your giving, and your investments. Trust that when you prioritize Him, provision and abundance follow. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's action in spite of it. God first equips you with the strength to face challenges boldly, even when your heart quakes and doubts arise. Life will demand courage. Standing up for what's right, taking risks, speaking truth, and pursuing dreams that seem impossible. Without God first, fear dominates. With Him first, courage flows naturally. Every act of courage strengthens your faith. You prove to yourself that reliance on God produces results, even when logic or circumstance suggests otherwise. Your confidence grows as you walk boldly in His power. Courage also inspires others. When people see someone trusting God over fear, they are motivated to do the same. Your example becomes a beacon of hope in a world full of hesitation and doubt. God first courage is strategic. It's not reckless. It's prayerful, disciplined, and aligned with His purpose. You don't act impulsively. You act faithfully. Challenges become proving grounds for faith. You learn that obstacles are opportunities for God to show His strength through you. Every victory reinforces the power of courage rooted in him. So step forward, speak up, take risks, act boldly. Let God be your source of courage and watch fear shrink as faith rises. Life will test you, try to break you, and make you question your path. God first means you never quit. You keep moving, keep fighting, keep praying, because giving up is not an option. Setbacks are temporary, obstacles are lessons. Every time you rise after a fall, your testimony grows. God first gives you the resilience to persist when everything in you wants to stop. Quitting is easy, but faith is hard. It demands effort, discipline, and trust. God first transforms that struggle into strength, that pain into purpose, and that moment into momentum. Every challenge carries a hidden blessing. If you quit, you miss it. If you persist, you experience growth, wisdom, and preparation for the next level. God never wastes your struggles. Perseverance also inspires others. When people see you refuse to give up, they gain courage to keep going. Your example becomes proof that God's plan is stronger than adversity. God first gives endurance. You may feel tired, frustrated, or hopeless, but when you lean on Him, you find energy beyond your own. You rise every morning with renewed determination. So commit to never quitting. Stay faithful. Keep walking. Keep fighting. Keep trusting. Victory belongs to those who endure and keep God first. Humility is power. God first teaches you that success is not about self-promotion, but about honoring Him and serving others. Pride may close doors, but humility opens them wide. You recognize that every talent, opportunity, and blessing comes from God. You stop taking credit for what He provides and start using it for a higher purpose. Humility allows you to learn, grow, and receive guidance. You stop thinking you know it all, and you start listening to God and those He places in your life for wisdom. When you stay humble, people are drawn to you. Doors of mentorship, collaboration, and friendship open. People respect someone grounded, teachable, and authentic. Even in success, humility keeps you balanced. You celebrate achievements without arrogance and remain grounded. Knowing that all victories are part of God's plan, humility also strengthens character. You treat others with respect, you forgive easily, and you remain patient even under pressure. Your influence grows because people trust and admire you, so walk humbly with God. Let humility guide your interactions, decisions, and vision. The doors that open through humility are doors God has prepared. God first isn't just about you, it's about the people around you. Your life becomes a beacon of hope, encouragement, and guidance. When you live for God first, your actions impact generations. You inspire through example. People notice your faith, discipline, and integrity. They see what's possible when God guides your life, and they want that for themselves. Your words carry power. Speaking truth, encouragement, and hope creates ripples in the lives of others. God first amplifies your voice to reach farther than you imagine. Service becomes natural. You help the needy, mentor the lost, support the weak, and uplift the discouraged. Your life becomes a platform for God's love and wisdom. Legacy matters. Impacting others means you are planting seeds today for a harvest tomorrow. What you teach, model, and invest in others continues even when you're gone. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to reflect God's love. Small gestures, big decisions, casual conversations, all have the potential to change a life, so prioritize impact. Live for more than yourself. Let God first guide your influence, and watch your life leave a lasting legacy. At the end of the day, God first means surrender. You give Him your past, your present, your future. You leave outcomes, people, struggles, and victories in His hands. You walk with peace. When life throws curveballs, you remain steady because you know God is in control. Nothing surprises Him, nothing escapes His notice, and nothing happens outside His plan. Confidence grows because you know you are not walking alone. Every step, every decision, every challenge is accompanied by His guidance, protection, and provision. Joy is restored. Worry diminishes when you understand that God holds the ultimate power. You can laugh, love, work, and live fully without the burden of control weighing you down. Faith deepens. You stop trying to manipulate circumstances or people to fit your desires. Instead, you focus on being obedient, diligent, and faithful in your walk with Him. Surrender also brings clarity. Decisions become easier, priorities align, and life's noise fades. You are free to pursue your purpose without distraction because God is orchestrating everything, so leave it all with Him. Step boldly, live fully, act faithfully, and trust completely. When God is first, every area of life aligns perfectly with His plan.